Ty with Ty the Dog Guy on the Daily, and I want to talk about your stubborn dog. Now, I might have done a blog or a podcast on this before, but if I have, it's been a long time, so it's due for a refresher. Now, the reason I was thinking about this, and the reason this came up, is that Facebook was kind enough the other day to show me a memory of a little image that I shared, I want to say a few years ago, 3-4 years ago, I don't remember, but something like that. And so they were kind enough to show me that image, and it was just a little quote that I had made and shared on our Facebook page, and it was something to the effect of, I might get the wording a little bit wrong here, but the wording was something to the effect of, in order for a dog to be considered stubborn, he must first know what the rule is and then actively choose to disobey it. There are very few stubborn dogs in this world, but there are a lot of untrained dogs. So, I stand behind this. This is very, very true. There are very few stubborn dogs. And in fact, even on that post, it was one of our most popular posts. It was shared thousands of times or something like that. And so there was a lot of comments, and a lot of people were like, well, you don't know my dog. My dog's actually stubborn. Or, this might be true, but my dog's the exception. There's exceptions. Exceptions exist all the time, right? But the reality is there are very, 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 very few stubborn dogs in the world. And there are a lot of dogs who are unclear on what the rules are and what's wanted of them. Let me get a little bit deeper into that concept there. So many dogs have no understanding of the rules. The owner believes they've taught them the rules. So let's take a simple command like come. And quite frequently, people say, my dog doesn't come when called. He's really stubborn. All right, well, what did you do to teach him to come? Well, when he was a puppy, I brought out some treats, and he would come, and we'd give him some treats, and, stuff like that. All right, how many times did you do that? Oh, we did it a bunch. And as you dig deeper, you find out that they did a handful of sessions over the course of a couple weeks teaching the dog to come. That's great, but if you want reliability and obedience out of that, you're trying to break every behavioral rule in dogs out there. You can't, with low levels of consistency for a short period of time, poorly communicate a concept to a dog and then expect the dog to do something well. But again, oftentimes this gets labeled as stubborn. My dog is stubborn because now he won't come when called. All right, and like I say, if you dig deeper, okay, how much did you work on with distractions? Well, we didn't work with distractions. How many areas did you do? Did you do 10, 15 different areas? No, we did it at the front yard in the park. Okay, so, you didn't do a lot of areas. You didn't use distractions. The amount of repetitions you did was tiny. Why would we expect the dog to come? Well, because I told him to come. And so, of course, that's the response that I'll often get. But like I say, what we're just talking about there is a dog who wasn't taught. It wasn't made clear. It wasn't taught. It was taught in a way that the human understood. And to be honest, had you done that same process with a human child, done 60 repetitions with come and the child got some sort of treat, the child probably would be pretty good at come, if it expected that or whatever. But we're talking about a dog. Dogs learn differently. They learn with different, pace and different rhythm and different, everything's so different about them. That you have to follow rules of behavior in order for your dog to do things. So like I say, I would encourage you to look at your dog and ask yourself, how well did I do at communicating these concepts to my dog? If it was really well, and your dog, you've done a great job, there exists that dog that is stubborn. But more often than not, you're dealing with a dog that isn't stubborn. It's just simply a dog that wasn't trained all the way. So, if that's your dog, get to work, get him trained all the way.